Hundreds of thousands of years ago, or even millions of years ago, there existed the human species, the most powerful and dominant in the Milky Way, called Alterans, or currently known as the Ancients. The Alterans or Ancients came from another galaxy currently unknown as to its name or location, as at some point there was a split between the Alterans and a faction called the Ori. The Ancients began to devote themselves to science, while the Ori became increasingly religious. This division eventually became so great that the Ori attempted to destroy the Ancients. To avoid a war that contradicted their beliefs, the Ancients left their home galaxy for the Milky Way. Upon reaching the Milky Way, they began to colonize it. The first planets were Darkra and Terra, which later became known as Earth. The Alterans evolved into the Ancients, who built many Astrea Porta, developed zero-point modules, and established colonies from Darkra on many of the Milky Way planets, most notably Terra, Praxlarush, Dunus, Visuban, P3R272 and Heliopolis. The first outposts are believed to have been established over 175 million to 50 million years ago, when they also built the ship's Destiny and Seed to travel across the universe. Their knowledge spread throughout the galaxy, as evidenced by the structures they left behind and their repository of knowledge. At some point during this time they also formed an alliance with the Asgard, Nox, and the Furlings, becoming a superpower within the galaxy. However, more than 5 million years ago a mysterious plague occurred that was wiping out the Ancients. This disease originated at the construction site of their new capital known as Visuban, and spread throughout much of the galaxy. They attempted to travel back in time to stop the spread of the plague, but their efforts were unsuccessful. Unable to cure her, the surviving Ancients abandoned Earth in a huge space city they called Atlantis, heading towards the Pegasus galaxy. The origin of the plague was never known, but research by Dr. Daniel Jackson suggests that the Ori were responsible for the plague that nearly drove the Old Ones to extinction in the Milky Way and forced them to leave for Pegasus. After their departure from Atlantis 10,000 years ago, the Ancients returned to Earth. Upon their return, they found humans in the hunter-gatherer stage of evolution. The Ancients were unable to re-establish their empire, so many mixed with the native humans to influence the future and create later civilizations, while others ascended. Thus the Ancients ceased to exist in the physical world to ascend to an astral plane or ascension. They did not become extinct or disappear. The race itself still exists, although not so advanced, but they ascended to energy beings, leaving a great cultural legacy, which is not known much or almost nothing, leaving them as a myth or gods. Technological, the Stargate doors, the ZPM or zero-point modules, weapons of great destructive power, city colony ships, etc., and a lot of knowledge that many species have discovered and used for their own reasons, whether for good or evil. Except in Pegasus, where the Spectres left almost nothing.